What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Monday, March 27th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, let's take a look at the point guard position. So I like CJ McCollum from Pelicans playing the Portland Trailblazers, who have the 11th worst defense overall. They give up the 11th most fantasy points to opposing point guards, and CJ McCollum has averaged 38.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 35 minutes per game with a 27% usage rate. Now, he's projected at 38.4 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 42 fantasy points or more and get you 5 times value or more. He's $8,200 DraftKings salary, 100 more on FanDuel, so I like that price on both sites. It's a good FanDuel price. And CJ McCollum has scored 49, 31, and 35 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 35, 36, and 30 minutes. But one of the reasons that I like this pick is because CJ McCollum has scored 49, 34, 38, 46, and 34 fantasy points in his last 5 games versus the Trailblazers. And CJ dropped a 51 just 4 games ago and a 49 again last time he played. He's not on a back-to-back. Now I think he's going to get plenty of minutes, 35 minutes or more here tonight. I think he's got 50 plus fantasy point upside if he can hit his shots. So I like CJ McCollum here versus the Portland Trailblazers. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. So I like Quentin Grimes from the New York Knicks playing the Houston Rockets, who have the 3rd worst defense overall, give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards, and Quentin Grimes has averaged 19.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 29 minutes per game with a 14% usage rate. He's projected at 20.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.7 times value, but I do think he can score 30 plus fantasy points here tonight. You're looking at a season average of 29 minutes a game. He played 38 minutes last game, but even if he does play 29 minutes, he's capable of putting up 25 plus fantasy points in those minutes that will get you over 5 times value. So I think he's pretty safe value play here with some monster upside. So he's only $4,500 DraftKings salary. He's 400 more on FanDuel, and we were on Quentin Grimes that game that he dropped 49. So of course we're going to be on Quentin Grimes again here tonight because his salary hasn't come up much. It's still super reasonable. I just think he's got some monster upside, and he's got a great matchup here tonight. Vegas thinks there's going to be 230.5 points scored in this game. Quentin Grimes has scored 49, 29, and 9 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 38, 25, and 20 minutes. So we'll see how many minutes he gets here tonight. If he can get his season average, I think he's got a great chance of getting you over 5 times value. I think this is a fantastic value play. So I like Quentin Grimes here versus the Houston Rockets. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. So I like Harrison Barnes from the Sacramento Kings playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, middle-of-the-pack defending opposing small forwards. And Harrison Barnes, he's averaged 25.2 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. Now, he's projected at 25.8 fantasy points here tonight, so that's just about 5 times value. He's $5,300 DraftKings salary, same price on FanDuel, so I love that FanDuel price. And Harrison Barnes has scored 30, 29, and 19 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 34, 34, and 24 minutes. So if he can get his minutes, I think he's got some pretty big upside. He's put up 36, 46 in his last 5 games versus the Timberwolves. So he's got a couple of big games versus the Timberwolves out of his last 5. So he's certainly capable of putting up a big game at a reasonable price tag here. So I like Harrison Barnes here versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. Now, I was pleasantly surprised to find this pick because I was kind of struggling to find a good power forward that I wanted to play. And I stumbled on Bobby Portis from the Milwaukee Bucks playing the Detroit Pistons, who have the second worst defense overall, give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. And just keep in mind that Giannis from the Bucks is probable. He's dealing with a knee injury. I mean, he's expected to take the court, but that just makes me wonder if Bobby Portis is going to get some extra minutes or, a boost in his usage rate or his production as a result. I think it's totally possible. So Bobby Portis has averaged 30 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. So those are fantastic numbers, and he's projected at 28.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's $5,600 DraftKings salary. Now he has $700 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 234 points scored in this game. So Bobby Portis has scored 19, 18, and 37 fantasy points in his last 3 games, playing 24, 22, and 25 minutes. So he's drastically underperformed his season average in the last 2 games. And now he's set up here with slightly injured Giannis in a fantastic matchup. It doesn't get any better on paper. So I am looking for Bobby Portis to have an explosive night here tonight. Even if he only plays 25 minutes, he's averaging 1.18 fantasy points per minute. So he's an absolute monster when he's on the court. So I like Bobby Portis here versus the Detroit Pistons. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, moving on to the center position. This is actually one of the positions I struggled a little bit to find somebody I really wanted to play. And you can play Bobby Portis at the center position, which is pretty awesome. But if you want to save some salary here, I think this is a valid value play. So take a look at Mason Plumlee from the LA Clippers playing the Chicago Bulls, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They've been pretty good versus opposing centers. Mason Plumlee has averaged 29.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 27 minutes per game with a 16% usage rate. He's projected at 24 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 4,600 DraftKings salary, 800 more on FanDuel, so I do prefer him as a DraftKings value play, but on FanDuel, most of the centers are priced up, so you just kind of can't get away from it. It's going to happen. So Mason Plumlee has scored 21, 12, and 22 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 18, 24, and 20 minutes. Now, he's playing behind Ivica Zubac, who's playing well over there, but he is getting a decent amount of minutes per game, and he's averaging 1.13 fantasy points per minute while he's out there, so he is super productive. So at a low price tag, especially on DraftKings, I think he could hit value pretty easily here tonight. And the other reason I like this pick is because look at his last 3 versus the Bulls, 40, 43, and 36. So I like Mason Plumlee here versus the Chicago Bulls. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.